What we're announcing is the opportunity for universities partnering with high schools to come to us, starting as early as next week and through January, to give us plans for concurrent enrollment, dual enrollment, where high school students will take college classes while they're still in high school, and for the first time, we think in our nation's history, actually have access to Pell Grants. This is a huge deal. You heard about the huge interest, and Memphis has done a great job of leading this, but you also heard that there are many students who would like to take more classes who simply can't do it because they don't have the financial wherewithal. And the whole goal is, whether it's first-generation college goers, English language learners, folks who are new to the country, to give them the opportunity to have this college experience while still in 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th grade. As I said in there earlier, there are many, many benefits. Obviously, the chance for academic acceleration is huge. The chance to potentially have 50% of your college costs paid for before you leave 12th grade. Talk about college debt in the nation. It's an amazing, amazing chance to significantly reduce costs. Those are both really big deals in and of themselves. But for me, the psychological impact of young people, maybe first-generation college goers, having the chance to take a college class, maybe on a beautiful campus like this, and say, guess what? I actually really belong in this world. I can be part of this. This is not for rich folks. This is not for people who look different from me or grew up in different neighborhoods. But I can do this. The psychological benefits, I think, are extraordinary. In terms of mechanics, we're going to have applications coming to us through January. We'll get back to universities and the partnerships by May, and we will have Pell out to young people by July. So this is for fall of 2016. So we're going to move very, very fast. We'd love to serve as many as 10,000 students. And this will be a model. We will evaluate. We'll do research. We're able to do this on a pilot basis through our experimental site authority. But this is something, if we get the kind of results that I'm convinced we will, we would really urge Congress to look at this in a big way. Education is an investment. It's not an expense. If we had more young people from disadvantaged backgrounds having the chance to not just go to college, but graduate, our families, our communities, our nation, and ultimately our nation's economy will be much stronger. So we're thrilled to be starting this. Look forward to great applications coming in, great partnerships with universities and high schools, and this work going forward. I think this will be some of the most exciting work that our department does. I'll stop there and take questions on anything folks might have.
We can take 2 or 3 questions, guys.
You mentioned when you were over at Douglas that you hope more schools kind of emulate Shelby County schools and make some of the progress that we have. There's still a lot of people in our community who say that Shelby County Schools has a ways to go. Our data earlier this year said that 1/3 of our 3rd graders are reading on grade level.
So I'd be the first to say Shelby has a heck of a long way to go. And let's never confuse where we are absolutely from progress. In terms of absolute results, whether it's Shelby County, whether it's Memphis, whether it's the state of Tennessee, there is a long way to go. But I'm always looking at growth and improvement. The state of Tennessee is getting better faster over the past 5, 6 years than virtually any state in the nation. Tennessee has gone from the bottom of the pack to now they're in the middle in terms of the nation's states. And I challenged Tennessee a couple years ago to become the fastest improving state. Tennessee made me look pretty smart, which I appreciate, and they've actually done that. So I think the challenge going forward the next 5 or 6 years is, can Tennessee go from the bottom to the middle of the pack to the top 10 nationally? That should be the goal. Same is true for Shelby County. Long way to go. But I look at the data from the innovation schools, the iZone schools, which are the bottom of the bottom historically. Their progress is very real. And what I did not hear at all today was any complacency or sense that we've arrived, but a hunger to get better and strategies to get better. So we want to always look at the progress that folks are making, find ways to accelerate it, but they're willing to challenge the status quo, do some things very differently, put resources behind it, bring great talent in, and it makes me hopeful, makes me optimistic. But to be clear, this is not mission accomplished. This is not we've arrived. Shelby County, the state, frankly the nation, we all have a long way to go.
So a program like this is going to push kids to school like Southwest Tennessee, but this school in particular has had a very low graduation rate. Is that something, it's been as low as 6%, is that something that concerns you? And then how do you think a program like this will affect graduation rates for both high school and college?
So again, 2 years, community colleges can apply, 4-year, we're agnostic, so we hope to get applications from all kinds of different universities. But I think so many young people don't graduate because they're taking remedial classes in college. They're not ready. Heard about here at this university, 80%, staggering, 80%, 4 out of 5 young people who come here actually aren't ready. I think one way to get folks ready and not have to take remedial classes is to take college classes while they're in high school. And so we think this is an opportunity to strengthen the talent pool for this community and around the nation. And I'm pretty convinced if young people are taking and passing college classes, by definition, they're not going to need remedial classes when they come out.
Let's go here and
As you know, Tennessee was one of the first states to participate in Race to the Top, and this year is when we spent the last of our incentive grants. Could you talk really quickly about what Tennessee's taught you, good and bad, now that Race to the Top is coming to an end?
So I'm just so proud of the progress here. And again, to be very clear, Tennessee has not arrived, but Tennessee has arrived at the middle of the pack nationally from being in probably the bottom 5 states. And that's extraordinary progress. As I said earlier, the goal should be over the next 5-6 years to go from the middle of the pack to be a top 10 state. And I have a lot of confidence that can happen. What I've seen here is folks working in a bipartisan way, putting politics aside, which is great. This should all just be about kids. I've seen an increased focus on high expectations. I've seen an increased focus on making sure young people are truly college and career ready. I've seen the focus, like we saw this morning, on turning around underperforming schools, dropout factories, and giving kids a chance to be successful. I think we all believe great teachers and great principals matter a lot, and how we better support and evaluate great teachers and principals and move them to underserved communities. And so there's never one simple answer, but Tennessee has done many, many things well. While we are proud to have invested in Tennessee, I want to be clear, our money is a tiny, tiny part of the story. This is about leadership, it's about courage, it's about high expectations, it's about adults doing this hard work every single day. And again, the fact that Tennessee has improved as fast or faster than literally any state in the nation, lots of folks deserve tremendous credit. Political leaders for staying the course, very importantly, teachers and principals for all of their hard work, but ultimately students and parents themselves who are taking their education very, very seriously.
Next question
Yes, sir.
here.
Recently, of course, the state of Tennessee announced this fall we have the first enrollees in the Tennessee Promise program, which makes this education a lot more affordable. It sounds like a 1-2 punch when you have students being able to take college credits in high school and then being able to move on to, say, Southwest. Can you kind of talk about what that projects for over the next, say, 10 years? What does it look like here in Tennessee with that 1-2 punch?
I think it's a great question. It's sort of the contrast of what we're trying to do is end the school to prison pipeline, and what we're trying to create is a K-12 to higher education pipeline. And the Tennessee Promise is a step in the right direction, obviously. In Tennessee, in many ways, has been ahead of the curve. But as you said, while that helps for folks who have graduated from high school, we really want to get that college-going culture and those college credits in young people's back pocket before they ever leave high school. And so hopefully this makes the pipeline that much more real, pulls it down. Again, think about 14, 15, 16-year-olds taking college classes. That's a life-changing opportunity. So hopefully this will just accelerate the pace of change. Hopefully this will give hope to children and communities who historically have felt locked out from these kinds of chances. And if we can do that, then the state, our communities, again, ultimately our nation, will be much, much stronger. So we are wildly optimistic. We're going to hold ourselves accountable. We're going to evaluate how this goes. But if we could have this fall 10,000 more young people, hopefully many in Shelby County and Tennessee, but around the nation, 10,000 more young people having access to college who didn't have it before, not because they weren't smart enough, not because they didn't want it, not because they didn't have a good work ethic, but they simply couldn't afford it. If we can remove that barrier, that feels really good.
Thanks, everybody.